Hi everyone, this is Alison from Paprika Marketing, and today we're going to talk about whether your website is working hard or just drifting aimlessly in cyberspace. I'm Alison Wren from Paprika Marketing. I've seen an awful lot of websites. My early career was in corporate IT, but I first got involved with websites during the dot-com boom of the early noughties. I started my own e-commerce business in 2004, built it up to a six-figure turnover with half a dozen staff, a workshop and warehouse before selling it in 2011. Since then, I've been helping small businesses get noticed online through search strategies, website conversion and social media. So over the last 10 years or so, I've seen some great websites, some pretty awful websites, and many that could be better with just a few tweaks. Today I'm going to talk about what makes an effective website, one that turns visitors into customers and is an asset and not just something you have to have. I'm going to start with the basics and then look at the key elements for a successful site before taking a look at some of the common mistakes you want to avoid. So let's start with some basics. These are the foundations, if you like. There are loads of factors, but I've picked 5 which are particularly important today and which many small businesses are still ignoring. And the first of those is search. You need your web pages to be Google friendly so that when your potential customers are looking for your product or service, there's a good chance that they will find you. Social sharing. It's with social media growing and growing, this is becoming absolutely essential that people who come to your website can share that content with their friends and with their followers. Ditto with mobile website. More and more of us are using smartphones, tablets and so on, so your website really has to be mobile friendly. It's also got to be fast. We've all got the attention span of a gnat these days, so make sure that your website does actually load quickly and that people aren't left hanging around just waiting for your page to come up. And then there's analytics. Unless you've got some idea of what's happening when visitors are getting to your site and know where they're coming from, you're not going to be able to make adjustments and improve how your website performs. So once you have the basics in place, what makes a website really successful so that your visitors become customers? I'm going to talk you through 10 things that you need to consider, and I'm going to use some illustrations to illustrate what I'm talking about. So the first one is it obvious what you do? Now, minimalist designs might work for famous brands like Apple, but for small businesses, it's a good idea to make it obvious. It doesn't mean you have to be over the top and in your face. And this particular website I chose because it does it very beautifully with great images, but it does spell it out just in case you weren't 100% sure what they were doing. And your website needs to be visually appealing. This is not on the high street, really successful website, and they've got some fantastic images, very clean, uncluttered layout, but it really makes you want to go into the site and hopefully buy something. Brand values. Can talk a little bit about brand because your website does need to reflect what your brand is all about. So if you're cheap and cheerful, or are you selling something more exclusive, your website should reflect that. So this is Argos. We all associate Argos with value, and their site reflects that. It's no frills, very plain primary colours, and there's several offers highlighted on their homepage. So you've got half price on this, free vouchers, so on and so forth. Whereas if you're going to sell gold encrusted chocolates in a Swarovski crystal embellished box at £190 a pop, you better make sure your website looks the part. And colour can be really important in setting that brand mood. I don't know if any of you have seen this slide before, but it's no coincidence that many corporate websites are blue. Blue trust, dependable, strength. If you see your business as fresh and funky, you need a website that reflects that. And it's not just colours, it's your fonts, your images, and the language you use. They all need to fit. Next point, what's in it for them? If you can explain on your website what the visitor is going to get out of it very plainly, very easily, that's ever so powerful. So this is Women Unlimited, business advice blog website for women in business, and they've spelled it out very plainly. Join us for smart business tips, market strategies, and free hangouts. And they want you to get signed up to their newsletter. And that's what's in it for you. You're going to learn about business, and they tell you that. Easy navigation. People can't find what they want on your site. They're not going to spend minutes hunting around for it. They'll pop off to your competitors. So make sure that essential information is prominent, your phone number, your location if you operate within a certain area. And if you sell items online, do tell people about it. It's amazing how many websites hide their e-commerce shop. Most sites have the menu down the side or across the top. That's where people expect to see it. It's a safe option. If you want to do something funky, be prepared to do plenty of usability testing. And you'll also need a search facility. So what you've got here with the National Trust website is they've picked out 5 things and really highlighted them. They've got the main menu across the top, which gives you more options. But they've thought, what are the main things that people want to do? They want to find a place to go to if it's a nice sunny day. You might want to find out what's going on, become a member, volunteer, donate. So they've picked out those things and made the navigation to those very, very simple. And making things very, very simple is really important. Brings us to our next point, and clear content. And this is a good example of what not to do. Apologies if you're a Derbyshire County Cricket Club member, but really this website isn't really doing it. I mean, it's got loads of clutter. It's got adverts all over it. Now, I know they'll have sponsors and they need to look after those sponsors, but it really is annoying. And some of them are flashing just for extra annoyance. I took this screenshot in November, so outside the cricket season. Now, the majority of the space is taken up with news stories about obscure junior cricketers. And again, there's all sorts of bits and bobs down the bottom of the page. Contrast that with Surrey Cricket, who've gone for something very, very simple. They've decided that the main reasons people will visit their website in November is 1, to get tickets for next year's test matches, and 2, to renew their membership. No distractions, no Twitter feed. Really, don't confuse your website visitors with too much information. Because you need to have a very clear call to action and lead visitors to take the next step. That could be ring for a quote, make a purchase, sign up for your newsletter. And it can be different for different parts of your website. You might ask people who arrive at your blog to sign up to your newsletter, while those who come to your homepage are encouraged to call you. Go compare, very, very simple. They want you to get a quote for car insurance or home insurance. 2 options. The rest of it is there, but it's not in your face. The things they want you to do, they're in your face. And in your face can be good. Say something interesting about you. When you run a small business, so often the unique selling point is you. So let your customers get to know you. A really good About Me page helps build rapport, will attract clients who are on the same wavelength as you. But most businesses just repeat the platitudes from their homepage or regurgitate facts. It took me ages to find an example for this talk, but here's accountant Teresa Bow sharing her story. What she does here is show that she's a really good accountant, that she understands small business, and a really nice person as well, all in 3 short sentences. Essential information. I think you said people aren't going to hunt around for the things they want to know. So, as well as good navigation, you need to make sure that that essential information is there. Your contact details, if you've got a physical store, your opening hours, where you're based, if you cover a particular area, where are those limits? What are your delivery charges? What's your returns policy? Think about all the different things and questions that your potential customers are going to want to know, and make sure they can find it. And finally, there's what I call confidence factors, the things that reassure visitors that you're a legitimate business and a good person to do business with. And this is things like reviews, secure payment logos, guarantees, returns, really important with e-commerce, and especially if you're not a recognized brand. So you spent all this money possibly on paid advertising or on search optimization. You're getting lots of visitors to your website. You want them to A, fall in love with your products, and then B, not have any doubts about making a purchase from you. This website has got these little blue boxes on here, and they're telling you all the things. So free strap adjustment, for example, quite important with things like watches. They've possibly gone slightly over the top because they've got lots of different things, but they are giving those confidence factors that will make people think, yeah, that's fine, I'm going to go for this. So we've talked about the things you need to have, should have on your website, and that will make it more effective. Let's look at some of the things that people, small businesses in particular, often do that sends the wrong message. If you're hiding your phone number, your email address, and your other details, you're basically saying, we don't want to talk to you. You know, don't interrupt me, I'm busy. And things like making people complete a CAPTCHA or jump through hoops to send you an email. If you make it hard for potential customers to get in touch, many people just simply won't bother. You really need to make it easy. If your website says on its homepage something like, welcome to our business is a, we do this, we do that, and we are such and such. Remember what's in it for them. And it really comes across as quite self-obsessed if you have a website like that. Oh, this is one of my favourites. The stock photograph of these gorgeous models, all dressed in impeccably ironed business suits, perfectly tied ties, usually ethnically diverse and so on. So they're giving a very, very false appearance of your, very false idea of what your business is really like. If you're a one-person band, showing photographs like this is giving a very, very false impression, especially if you're the wrong side of 40 and a bit wrinkly as well. So, I mean, have photographs of yourself on there. If you're a small business, remember your USP is you. And if you've got a blog that you last updated about 6 months ago, or a news page talking about Christmas 2011, people are going to notice. They're going to think, are they still in business? Maybe I don't want to give them my credit card details. Okay, now finally, here's an example that breaks every rule in the house. This has been described as the worst designed website ever, and it plays an awful audio of Ling singing. Ling Valentine gets away with this because she's pretty much made it her USP that her website is awful. But unless you're a very ballsy Chinese woman who doesn't care what other people think, it's better to go for something attractive that will appeal to your potential customers. So thank you for joining me on this webinar. My name's Alison Wren from Paprika Marketing. You can find out lots more useful advice and articles on my website blog at www.paprikamarketing.co.uk. And I'd love to connect with you via social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. Look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.